Hi friends, welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. My name's Jonathan. I make luxury videos, unboxings, and reviews. And today I thought we would compare my Speedy P9 to my Speedy 30. So let's get into it. So this video was suggested by Pamela. Hi Pamela, thank you so much again for the video suggestion. She wanted me to compare my Speedy P9 with my Speedy 30 to see if you really do get that many different features for the price point. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I will start off with what each bag comes with and then share the details as to what's different between the two. Obviously, in my collection, I only have a Speedy 30 in the canvas and I only have one P9, which is size 25. So right off the bat, we're already going to know that that is going to be a difference. So keep that in mind that we're not going to be talking about size just because that's going to be an inherent trait with the size of Speedy that you get. However, the accompaniment that the bag comes with is the same regardless of the size. So let's go ahead and start with what my Speedy 30 came with. So with the Speedy 30, the only thing that you realistically get is going to be the strap as well as the lock and key. With the Speedy 30 strap, it doesn't come with a dust bag. I just put it in one of my extras, but it does come in 3 different pieces, so you will have to assemble it. However, I like the 3 different piece strap option just because you can make it a lot shorter and even convert it into a shoulder bag. And so I have been using it as a shoulder bag a lot more. And one thing that I absolutely love about my Speedy 30 is the fact that it had a little bit of an update compared to previous years, where all of the hardware now is completely shiny and matches, versus in prior years, I believe it was just the zipper pulls that were shiny and everything else was in a brass material. However, don't quote me on that. I never actually had a Speedy with the different hardware materials, but I know that it was something that a lot of people didn't enjoy about the bag. And so that is realistically all that you get with the Speedy 30 in the canvas material. And then for the Speedy P9, you actually get a little bit more things with it, such as a luggage tag, as well as a clochette. And then you do get your lock and key as well. I have my keys currently inside of the clochette. And then you do also get a pouch, which I absolutely love, in the same P9 leather. And this one is in brushed metal hardware. All of the P9 hardware is in this brushed brass metal. And then you do obviously get the strap. Again, the strap didn't come with a dust bag. I just put it in one of my extras. And the one thing that's different about the P9 strap is it's actually only 2 pieces versus the Speedy 30 came in 3. And the hardware is a lot more chunkier than the Speedy 31, and you also do get this extra piece of leather to put on your shoulder so that way it doesn't fall off as easily. So with the P9, you definitely do get a little bit more accompaniments, but for the price point, I am not surprised. I also just wanted to point out that even though the hardware is chunkier on the Speedy P9 versus the Speedy 30, I believe it's because that the Speedy P9 is from the men's collection versus the Speedy 30 is from the women's. And so the men's handbags tend to have a lot more chunkier hardware in comparison to the women's. So I feel like that is probably why that is different. Okay, so now that we got what comes with the bag out of the way, let's go ahead and compare the details of both bags side by side. And starting off with the zipper pull, you'll notice that on the Speedy 30, it is a dual zipper pull. That way you're able to open them from either direction, versus the Speedy P9 only comes with one zipper pull, and it does have a leather pull tab attached to it. The second noticeable difference is the fact that you'll see that the Speedy 30 has these leather trimmings on the side to signify that it is a bandouliere, which means that it comes with a strap, versus the P9 just has the D-rings on the sides with these leather pull tabs as well. the third feature that is different for the exterior of these bags is going to be the locking mechanism. So for the Speedy 30, the locking mechanism is you put the zipper pulls in the center and then you feed your lock through these two holes and lock your bag as such. Versus with the P9, you're actually meant to close your bag like so and then have the lock go through this little hole. Personally, both of these options are not quite viable. I will not be locking my Speedies, but it's just good to know the two different locking mechanisms that Louis Vuitton Speedies can come with. The next difference between the regular Speedy and the P9 Speedy is obviously going to be the materials. So the regular Speedies are made out of this coated canvas material versus the P9 is obviously made out of the P9 leather. So it is going to give it a more slouchier look versus the Louis Vuitton canvas does give it a more structured look. I did take the organizer out of my bag, so it is completely empty, but you'll see that it won't be as slouchy compared to the P9, even with nothing in it. It literally, you can see it's like collapsing in on itself in some areas, versus if I just sit down my regular Speedy 30, it will still compose its shape. And lastly, within the interior is literally going to be the same for both the Speedy 30 as well as the P9. The only difference is going to be with the interior pocket. The Speedy 30 or other Speedies just come with a metal zipper pull versus the P9 does come with a pull tab for the zipper pull instead of just a metal one. Again, that one I'm not necessarily too happy about just because if it's going to be similar to this zipper pull, it can be prone to breaking off. So I kind of do wish that Louis Vuitton had put the metal ones on there, but that's neither here nor there. And then obviously with the P9s, you do get a plaque in it. Obviously, you get a plaque with all the P9s. You just won't get a plaque with the Louis Vuitton regular Speedies. You'll just have the made in stamp on the side here on one of the leather tabs. So I think that is literally all of the differences. Obviously, there's going to be like more details on the Speedy P9. So for example, all of the hardware is engraved with Louis Vuitton on it versus like the regular canvas ones, you only get the engravings on like the rivets here as well as the zipper pulls, but the chaps will have engravings on the P9 as well as the D-rings. So you do get a little bit more details in that respect. And then with the regular Speedies, it is one piece of canvas versus the P9s. They do it in a way that it looks like it's one piece of leather just because the LVs are upside down on the other side. However, it is just two pieces of leather that they seamed together. So that is another difference between the two. And I do believe that all the sizes of the P9s do have that seam that runs down the middle versus the canvas Speedies, none of them will come with that seam. So I think that is all of the differences. I'm trying to look at the bags to see if there's anything else I can notice. But honestly, I think that is all of them. Thank you so much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed today's video. And thank you again, Pamela, for the really great video suggestion. I didn't really realize that there was that many differences between the regular Speedy and the P9. So I'm very happy to note those differences. So if you like that kind of content or simply want to see more of me, then definitely hit that like and subscribe button. And until next time, I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.